hello to all my friends out there. So I'm buying food for the stockpile. And you might be saying, why are you buying food for the stockpile when you have plenty of food? Well, there's a very good reason. Because I think the price of food is going to go up. And right now it seems to be really pretty reasonable. So if it doesn't go up, that's fine. Eventually I will eat it. Okay, I know I'm going to need to be drinking some Diet Coke. So one of the things I keep going to the store and they don't have is caffeine-free Diet Coke. And so this was 74 cents because as you get older, caffeine is not your friend. Okay, the shortening was $2.98. I think that's about the best price. I stockpiled 2 cans of carrots. You know, I never stockpiled them, but I started watching Jan from New York City Saves Money, and she made mention of carrots, canned carrots, a couple times, and I could see the sense to it. So that goes back to the application of knowledge. I bought 2 cans of cream corn because I make corn soup with that, and I'll be making some. I bought 2 cans of green beans, and that came from Penny Pinching Granny with the green bean cornbread and scallop potatoes. And what I like to make with these is green beans with a little bacon ends and salt, pepper. You could use bacon grease, as she mentioned, if you don't have any bacon. But if you stock your freezer full of bacon ends when you do have money, you are going to have bacon. Okay, now here was the deal. They didn't have much canned soup either. You guys stockpiled the 50-cent soup at Walmart. They had 4 cans only for 50 cents at Walmart, so I bought all 4. This might be something to do with why some of the shelves are bare. I don't think I'm the only one, hoarding food. And then the stewed tomatoes were dirt cheap, like 46 cents, so I bought 4 of those. Then I bought some baking powder and some baking soda because you need that. Now I stockpiled 2 big packages of yeast, and that will stay good indefinitely if you keep it in your refrigerator. And then 6 cans of evaporated milk. This is something we might be seeing shortages of if we see food shortages. This stuff can be used in all kinds of things. And I posted an oatmeal muffin recipe that one of the followers, and sorry I forgot who, on my Twitter left. It's under comments, but once the days roll by, it's hard to find those recipes. So these were really reasonable at Walmart. I like to make sure I get my stuff, at Walmart because I know it's not old and I know it's not defective. Okay, I bought 2 cake mixes. With this one, I could make a pineapple upside down cake, and with this one, I could make some awesome cupcakes or little cakes. I bought 10-pound sugar. Now that's something that might go up. It's about $5 right now, but I thought that's not something you want to run out of. Okay, and then I bought this good flour. It wasn't the cheapest. It was about $4 because guess what? There was no gold medal premium. So I just bought 5 pounds. I have about only about 25 pounds flour, I think, counting this 5. So if you guys can afford it, stock your house full of food. One way you can do it is just look around for cheap cans of food. If another thing is food is going to be your most valuable thing for barter. Mention was made of barter. I forget who mentioned it. But the things that I stockpiled for barter were camp gear, coats. When I had to move that time, I donated 2 trunkfuls of coats. And then, I was so bitter about that move. I really could, to this day, I really cannot stand those people. And so I forgot all about it. And that particular winter was unreasonably cold, and it popped into my mind about the coats. And so that's how God speaks to me. A memory will just pop into my mind, And I said, it's okay, God, but if you will just make sure that they suffer to the same extent they made me suffer, we'll call it good. And so coats, shoes. You want to stockpile good quality shoes. Those would be used for barter. I sell them too. I bought two pair of, I think it was crocodile leather shoes, and I think I'm selling one. One had a missing tongue, so I'm not sure what I don't like to sell any defective products on eBay. I wanted to mention my jobs. Okay, my jobs, I'm retired, but my jobs are the swap meet, and I go when I feel like it, but mainly I buy all the time so that when I go, I have thousands of dollars worth of stuff to sell and I make some money. And eBay, and I make a little money off YouTube. So every little bit helps. Okay, back to the barter. Food is the most valuable. Camp gear. Also, things like I heard, and I thought this made a lot of sense. If you find them cheap, coffee, feminine products, you never think about that, but think about that. Those would be good for barter. I see people actually selling food, canned food at the swap meet. You could sell your food. I see, I had knowledge of people and what they would do. The extreme couponing, you buy something with a coupon and you get one free. And then they would sell those. I was pretty sure they figured out ways to acquire the stuff free. And I even heard of women who had like a little business in their homes. And also in their homes, you could trade one of your things for one of their things. So that was a form of barter. And then the other thing that would be a very, very smart barter item is gasoline. I believe the cost of food and gasoline and the cost of living in general will go up by the first of the year. So if you can possibly afford to stockpile, do it now. The stuff seems to be, I do see missing items on the shelves, like no gold medal premium flour, but that's okay. I'm across the street from Smart and Final. I'll see if I can get some. So, stockpile a little bit of food. Or if you need something, ask one of your neighbors if you could trade them something so you don't have to pay them back if you're broke anyway. And say to yourself, okay, if I really thought there was going to be some kind of food shortage, if I really thought less food was going to be available, what would I stockpile? And then if you don't have any extra money, one of the followers made mention she didn't have any extra money. That's a lot of people. Okay, if the cost of living goes up and you just have enough money for your dwelling and they expect you to get by on the food stamps, they don't give you any extra money, you might want to think, is there some way, I don't care how little, collecting cans. Another thing that I think would be a super smart thing to stockpile, and you might be thinking, you're ridiculous. Get yourself a coffee can and collect cigarette butts in that coffee can. Those might be useful for barter, which sounds really stupid, but I have heard of people so broke that, and they were smokers. Another good thing for barter is alcohol. Imagine you can't afford alcohol. And then, another thing you're going to want to stockpile is some fruit juice. Like me, I can drink fruit juice at will. And so I never want to drink fruit juice. So make sure, go to the food bank and stock up, take whatever they give you. I don't care if you like it or not. Take it and create a stockpile. And then what you can do is put it into your back of your mind, like the green beans. You have some green beans, and you have some potatoes, and you have some cornbread, and you have some bacon grease. So, okay, you guys, and if I was you guys, I would subscribe to Penny Pinching Granny. You know, some of her stuff might seem extreme, but it might seem pretty smart if food shortages. I usually like to say, okay, look at the past, and that will give you a pretty good indication of the future, right? Should we be thrown into a panic? No, because in the past, you know, we've weathered the recessions just fine. But on the other hand, if it's food like this food that you're going to eat all the time anyway, I like to have bean with bacon soup, and I like to make hot dogs wrapped in biscuits. Oh, and one of the followers, and I think it was a man too, said make your corn muffins in muffin pans and put your cornbread in that way, which would be a whole lot smarter than the way I did it. But my second corn dog was actually very successful. I mean, if you want an actual corn dog, which I think I do. But say if you were tired after work and you didn't want to stand there making those corn dogs, you could use the muffin mix method. Okay, you guys, so you might want to start stockpiling a little extra food, and God bless you all.